This is the only part of Jeremy Bray's body he can control. The 29-year-old has spinal muscular atrophy, a disease that's caused his muscles to waste away. His thumb is his last link to independence, allowing him to work as a data consultant. It gives him the ability to control his wheelchair around his parents' home in Rivers. And it gives him a sense of autonomy and hope.
There's lots in my life that gives me joy. I just try to live each day at a time and try to make it a good day.
Early on, Bray's parents noticed something about Jeremy was different.
Jeremy seemed to hit his milestones up till about a year, and he was starting to pull himself up onto furniture, and everything looked pretty normal. And then all of a sudden, he stopped doing that, and he wasn't getting up on furniture. He wasn't standing on his own.
Shortly after his first birthday, the Brays received a diagnosis. Jeremy had type 2 spinal muscular atrophy.
You know, you're scared. What do you do now? How are we going to cope? What's next?
What came next was Jeremy's perseverance through difficult physical challenges. He did well in school and hung out with his many friends, despite relying on a wheelchair since he was 4. He graduated from Brandon University with a degree in computer science. He's fought to remain positive despite this reality hanging over his head.
No matter what I do, eventually I'll lose, or my disease will progress throughout my whole body, all the voluntary muscles. So it's been very difficult.
Now the Bray family is fighting harder than ever. A treatment finally became available for Jeremy in the last few years. But he says the province is refusing to cover the hugely expensive drug that could improve his condition.
It's very frustrating that the province I live isn't willing to take those steps that other provinces are and have been taken. It's very, very frustrating.
The drug is called risdiplam. Doctors say it can stop the disease's progression and can reverse its effects in some patients, but none of these results are guaranteed. Quebec makes risdiplam available for every adult who needs it, but other provinces only allow it for people older than 25 on a case-by-case basis. These provinces are following guidance from Canada's drug agency. It never researched how the drug will impact adults older than 25.
It won't happen anymore because there's so much evidence right now it's working.
Dr. Xavier Rodrigue says it would be unethical to conduct a study in which some patients don't get the treatment. He's seen the drug work with 90% of his adult patients in Quebec.
A lot of nice story that people now go back to study, do a master.
By the time risdiplam was available in Canada, Jeremy was already older than the recommended cutoff age for the drug. Despite that, his family went to the former PC government to ask for an exception, but the Tories turned them down. Now the PC MLA for Rivers says the family's request should have been granted.
Regardless of which government is in power, the answer from the bureaucracy has been the same, and I think that's wrong. I think the bureaucracy needs to get out of the way and provide this treatment to Jeremy.
One of the biggest hurdles, the price. Estimates suggest the drug costs $300,000 in the first year. But Jeremy says denying treatment also comes at a cost.
Ultimately, I'm going to be a greater burden on the healthcare system. I won't be independent. I'll be living on assistance. I'll be in the hospital more as my respiratory system gets compromised, and then they'll have to deal with those additional costs.
He wants to make his case to the health minister directly. Yzoma Asaguera is open to meeting with him, but they don't plan on budging from the federal agency's advice.
If there are any changes to the CDA recommendations, we would be very, very open to following those changes or those updated recommendations.
It isn't known if the agency will change its recommendation. However, a national patient organization says that hasn't stopped Quebec, Saskatchewan, Alberta, and Ontario from making exceptions. Jeremy's dad is in awe of everything his son has gone through.
For him to fight this for so many years and to persevere the way he has, it's amazing. But I'm not sure I would have that fight. All his friends, and they're still around. Many of them are still around, but they're off married, have starting at the age where they're having kids. That's not an option for him, right? Like, it's that normalcy of life is just, it's not there.
Darren says he's determined to preserve the small amount of independence Jeremy has left.
But always in the back of his mind, he's getting weaker, and it's all gonna come to an end without a treatment. Experiencing some bit of gain in strength, as minimal as it might be, he loses that worry of regressing further, and that's everything, right? That's everything to him.